every year. We get a chance to bring in some remarkable fintech experts and entrepreneurs and help mentor them in learning about community banking and how to work in the community bank marketplace. And today we have three of our recent alum from this year's program. We have Wallit, we have Lendsmart, and we have Finzly. The area of digital innovation is keenly important to the community banks today, and we're very pleased to have had these fine companies participate in our program. And I'm going to let Hamza Kader take over from here and be our MC for the rest of the program. I appreciate it, and thank you again, everybody, for being here. Hamza, it's all yours.
Thank you, Charles, for that introduction. And as Charles said, this is our final segment of this webinar series in the Innovation Hour. And today we'll be working through digital innovations with three very innovative companies, beginning with Mike Vienne at Wallit. Just before we get started, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. We will be requesting that you fill out a poll during the presentation. Please feel free to answer into that as you guys feel appropriate. And shortly after the presentations, we'll go into a 5 to 10 minute Q&A session. People from the audience, attendees from the audience, please do not hesitate to ask any questions throughout the presentation or during the Q&A portion. If you guys will just tee those up, then I'll be happy to ask on your behalf. Thank you very much. And without further ado, Mike, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Yes, thank you, Hamza, and thank you, Charles. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Vienne, co-founder and CEO of Wallit. And Wallit is a smart debit wallet and card-linked offer platform that pays your customers cash back when they spend on their debit card that is connected to their checking account with your bank. And I'm excited to share with you today Wallit and what we've been building in partnership with community banks across the country. I'm going to spend the first half of our time together discussing trends that are happening in the market and in your communities, as well as a new strategic approach to help you and your community to not just survive this global pandemic, but to thrive. In the second half, I'm going to provide a product demo. Okay, so let's get right to it. As we all know, the economic downturn has caused financial hardship to businesses and individuals everywhere. COVID-19 has decimated the hospitality, travel, event industries, and it has especially hit hard local retail businesses in our cities across the country. We believe at Wallit that community and regional banks are in pole position. They have a tremendous opportunity to help customers who are in financial distress by serving as a bridge towards financial recovery and new growth. And for many banks and local merchants, the primary challenge is how to bring their businesses back in an environment where a vaccine has yet to be found and economies are still reeling. The simple fact is that revenue is down, in a lot of cases way down. Fortunately, banks have provided some temporary relief through PPP loans, and these loans have helped overcome the temporary loss of revenue businesses are experiencing. But the loans do not replace consumer confidence, or better still, they do not replace actual revenue. Businesses need our help. And acquiring customers is harder than ever, especially for local, small to medium-sized businesses. In fact, as we all know, marketing to acquire and retain loyal customers is hard. It's getting harder every day. It was harder last year, and it's only gotten more difficult with the pandemic. And again, businesses need our help. But there is a silver lining, though. This crisis is actually a catalyst. It's a call to action. We have provided this framework that I'm sharing with you on this slide 5 for business leaders like you to help make decisions during this period of uncertainty. Please consider this framework as guidelines for thinking about the future. We hope you ask yourselves and members of your organization some important questions. Questions like this first question is, how deep is this disruption? In other words, loss of revenue. Question 2, how long will the disruption last? And question 3, how long will the recovery take? Now, we probably have no idea how long and deep the losses will endure, but we do know that if we can overcome the uncertainty by taking action now, the objective is really to minimize the depth and length of the decline in performance sustained this year, that loss in revenue and new business, while reducing the time in which it takes to recover and bring revenue to its original levels or better. However, the goal isn't simply to recover when the dust settles. The goal is to bring businesses to its previous levels and beyond it, and as quickly and as safely as possible. We do that by proactively closing what we call the performance gap. That performance gap is the result of not implementing an effective recovery plan. It's practically a cliche now that the COVID-19 has accelerated the shift to digital, and some important questions to think about are, how is your bank leveraging a digital strategy to take advantage of this shift? How are you helping your businesses recover lost revenue? And beyond PPP, what actions has your organization taken to overcome the uncertainty? Basically, how many of you have developed a recovery plan that helps your businesses and your customers' businesses to move forward, to close that performance gap, which is actually an opportunity? And with no real recovery plan other than providing SBA loans, communities are at a greater risk. And by implementing a recovery plan, banks can help businesses rebound and recover more quickly and stronger than ever before. Banks that implement a recovery plan will win. We think they'll win big, and those that don't will suffer this performance gap. So today we want to provide you with some ideas for moving your business and your community forward. It's a new strategic approach to help you grow your business, and it's based on 3 strategic pillars, each of them representing a specific objective and consisting of a set of recommendations that can help you achieve that objective. Phase 1 was all about PPP loans, as we all know, and community banks led the way. They came out on top. It was a terrific opportunity to fortify and strengthen relationships with local merchants. However, these loans were largely a temporary relief in a first phase of a multi-phase recovery plan. While phase 2, which is what we are in now, we recommend banks shift their focus and resources now in order to leverage those relationships that were strengthened in phase 1. And to do that by providing a digital marketing solution, banks can capitalize on early opportunities to capture that local demand through a gradual, safe, and staged approach. Whereas the final stage, phase 3, comes next, and it's most likely next year, and it entails a partnership approach to unlock and connect members of your community and drive commerce at the local level with your bank. So let's take a quick look at those 3 pillars, and I'll try to move quickly in the sake of time. Phase 1, as we refer to as relief, was centered on providing that temporary relief through short-term financing. The main takeaway is that phase 1 was a great challenge, and it's also a great opportunity. It begs the questions, how will you keep your new PPP customers? And do you have a proactive plan to retain and grow your relationships with customers post-pandemic? Phase 1 largely is behind us, so for the sake of time, I'm going to keep going. And that brings us to the second pillar, this phase 2, which we call restart. As cities and states begin to loosen restrictions and businesses are beginning to reopen, people are starting to venture out. However, the coronavirus has forever changed behaviors and has impacted how we go about our daily lives. It has affected how we shop, how we dine, how we spend our money. And you all are going to receive a copy of this presentation, so I'm not going to read through every one of these bullets, but the main point is communities need our help to move forward, and banks are in an exceptionally unique position to help stimulate demand and drive business for small to medium-sized businesses in your community while providing a safe and secure solution for consumers to overcome their concerns and move forward in a new normal. The final phase is called recovery, and it's phase 3. It's about increasing your visibility in your community as a trusted partner to increase your market share. And the goal of phase 3 is to better position you as the trusted community leader, that banking provider of choice. It sets the foundation for full recovery and long-term growth. And we do this with community banks by partnering with you to launch and manage merchant marketplaces. These marketplaces unlock and connect your customer base through a cashback marketing platform. A merchant marketplace empowers your loan officers, your branch staff with a powerful solution to win new business and banking relationships, as well as new retail relationships. Some of the banks that we've partnered with are working closely with their local chamber of commerce to spearhead these merchant marketplaces. They've also dedicated part of their marketing budget to stimulate, support, and grow their communities and to grow the shop local trend. As part of our solution, we're also helping in a number of different ways that I'll quickly highlight here. We have significantly discounted our pricing for banks and merchants, and we have programs to subsidize cashback for banks and their merchant funded offers. We're also leveraging Wallit to make charitable donations toward those hit hardest by COVID-19, among other various things that we're doing to support our community bank relationships. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to highlight a couple of the features that I'm going to show you in the product demonstration. We're going to focus on 2 features. We're automating budgeting with Wallit, and we're automating cashback. Wallit combines the importance of improving financial wellness with the surprise and delight of rewarding everyday saving and spending through card-linked cashback offers. Our objective with Wallit is to help our users and your customers better manage their discretionary income and spending on a daily basis. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see what we call our smart balance feature. It's a projected balance that's based on recurring bills that's connected to their checking account that informs your customers what is safe to spend in their account, pay down debt, or even to save money with your bank. We provide daily notifications of the Smart Balance, which gives your customers the confidence they need to support their everyday lives, especially now in this crisis, while it puts them in control of their money. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see how we've created a marketplace that can be sponsored by your bank to strengthen relationships and to grow relationships with businesses and retail customers and your consumers. Helping businesses connect with consumers and rewarding your customers to shop local has never been more important and more needed than right now. Now, leading merchants are at all levels, large and small, are onboarding to the Wallit platform as one of the best ways to reach their target audiences through marketing and advertising. And in addition to our primary focus of working with local merchants, we also partner with national merchants and some of these retail brand partners. The list keeps growing all the time as my team works really hard to curate the best cashback offers available on the market. So I'm just going to shift gears really quickly now, and I'm just going to show you how it works, and then we can jump right into the demo. As you know, your strengths are in service and building relationships. You're all great at it. And for some of you, the challenge is transferring that expertise online into mobile, and that's where Wallit comes in. Wallit serves as that digital extension to the personal relationships that your branches and loan officers already build with your customers in your local markets. So what we do is we help create a local marketplace in your community that provides a new channel to win and strengthen those relationships. We partner with one bank in each market, and we work closely with the bank to create a marketplace by inviting their current businesses and retail customers to participate, as well as any new relationships. And then what we do is we provide a hyper-local marketing program that delivers cashback offers that are tied to your bank's debit card. And these offers are predominantly funded by local merchants, your customers. And the marketplace creates a win-win-win. Consumers get a great user experience that automates budgeting and cashback. We connect consumers to local experiences at the local level with our vast network of merchants and restaurants, gas stations, and retail shops. Merchants benefit in multiple ways. First, Wallit increases spending and foot traffic. And then since Wallit pays cashback on debit cards instead of credit cards, merchants reduce the amount of interchange fees that the merchants pay, and they save money on every transaction. And banks finally have the most benefit. They benefit the most by increasing spending on debit cards instead of credit, drives interchange revenue, that non-interest income, as well as deposits for the bank, which makes banks the go-to card and top of wallet for their customer base. It also increases new deposits as well as new accounts. And the best of all is that there is no friction. Consumers use their existing debit card that's tied to their existing bank account, your bank. Merchants don't need to integrate anything to their POS systems. They're just using their existing debit cards. And then banks do not have to integrate Wallit into their core system or mobile app. Of course, we certainly can and welcome the opportunity, but it isn't required to get started. In fact, implementation can be completed in just a few days. And so with that, I'm going to just jump over to share my version of Wallit, and I'll just give you a quick demonstration of automated cashback offers as well as the automated budgeting through Smart Balance. And what I'm showing you now is our homepage. We call it the wall, and each of our bank partners own this screen in their respective communities. And what we do is we invite those local merchants to participate to offer cash back to your customer base, and we market to both. And every single offer on our platform largely has not only a discount, but also is associated with cashback to really sweeten and to improve the user experience for your customers. We have different campaigns that banks can participate in that I can share with you at a subsequent time if there's any interest to see a more detailed version of the demo. But on the wall, this homepage, we have featured offers, we have trending offers, and we have local offers, all brought to you by your merchants within your respective communities. And these offers are transaction-based, they're location-based, and they're tied to user behavior, so we can actually serve up very personalized offers to each one of your customers. Customers can look for offers by category. They can actually search on a map as well. They can view on the map various offers that they might be interested in receiving based on their location, where they will be or where they are currently. And then finally, I wanted to show you how we're aggregating a lot of the accounts to make the consumer finance easier by leveraging some aggregation to include your account. But mostly what I wanted to focus on was the Smart Balance. And that Smart Balance is basically looking inside a checking account that's linked to Wallit and then coming up with a projected balance. And you can click on a checking account and you can simply see the accounting for how we're arriving at that balance. And what it does, it gives consumers that confidence to know that they are actually spending within their means, paycheck to paycheck. We look at the existing bank balance, that available or collected balance. We factor in recurring expenses and income, and then we come up with that smart balance. And that smart balance is something that people are using today, largely because so many people aren't balancing checkbooks. They're not even writing checks. So this is really helpful for the demographic, the younger generation, the people that are living paycheck to paycheck, and even the retired folks that are living on a fixed income. So that's just a high level version of what we're doing to automate and using our advanced technology to improve the user experience for your customers and your local merchants. I look forward to speaking with you all, and I'm interested in any questions if we have time. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks, Mike. We really appreciate that. We can move into the Q&A portion of this. And audience members, if you guys certainly have any questions, please feel free to send them in through the chats. But just a couple of questions that I had, Mike, was who pays for the cashback offers?
The cashback offers are predominantly merchant funded. Merchants and retailers are using Wallit as an advertising platform to drive business, both increased transaction volume as well as larger order volume. So they're using it as a way to measure their advertising spend. Banks can also participate as well if they'd like.
Gotcha. And you spoke a little bit about the merchant side. What type of merchants do you guys typically work with, and how do you guys onboard them and acquire them? What is your process like in that regard?
Well, this is where the community banks are so key, and they have these great relationships with existing merchants on Main Street. So we start by working with the community bank and inviting their customers as favored nation type of approach. And then we work very closely with the community bank to onboard new relationships that are leveraging the bank for their business banking, if not just their marketing balances to leverage the platform. At the same time, we're working on a national online level, and we're aggregating offers all over the place, very much like TripAdvisor does for travel, while it actually aggregates cashback across all merchants, large and small.
Understood. And then just talking on the banks a little bit more, how does the integration look like? Do you integrate with the core or on the merchant's POS system? How do things go in that regard?
Good question. So Wallit is entirely API driven. We have an SDK so that if any bank wants to include any or all of the Wallit features into the banking application for one unified experience, we certainly welcome that. But what we found with the existing customers that we have is it's a great way to remove that friction to just get started immediately, especially when time is pressing and everybody's trying to figure out how to manage through this uncertainty. We can actually implement a co-branded version of Wallit in a matter of days.
Very cool. Very cool. And with that regard, can banks have exclusivity in their community?
We do, actually. We're one of the few organizations that really embrace the idea of exclusive relationships. The reality is we choose our partners very carefully. Not every bank is in a position to actually take advantage of this offer, of this platform. So we look to find the right community, the right partner, and then we work exclusively with that bank partner to have them be that trusted bank provider within their respective markets. That could be at the neighborhood level, the zip code level, could be multiple regions. It all really depends on the opportunity.
Sure. And Mike, I'll just ask you kind of a last kind of sum up. Can you tell me how you guys differentiate a little bit versus other digital wallets? And then also, who wins big at the end, right? Is it the banks, merchants, consumers? What are the benefits?
Those are two great questions. I think actually banks have the most to gain from all of this because they're in as we said earlier, the pole position to take advantage of their existing customer base.
Right.
So it's a win-win-win. We're building a multi-sided marketplace where consumers get cash back and they automate a lot of the manual tasks that we all know we need to do, but we probably don't do because it's time consuming. Merchants win because they actually get a marketing platform that drives performance right down to the penny of every single dollar of ad spend. And then banks get what their business model is. They strengthen relationships and grow new accounts, not only with retail customers at the family level, but also with merchants in their various communities.
Right. No, that makes sense. And then, Mike, if you wanted to just speak a little bit about how you guys are different than other digital wallet apps.
Yeah, so there's so many wallet apps. They all take different flavors. We've got wallet apps for moving money transfer. We've got apps for managing budgeting and saving. And then there's wallet apps for managing the abundance of different types of loyalty and reward programs. Wallit actually is different because we aggregate a lot of those capabilities in one user experience. But more importantly, we're not here to displace banks. We actually think of Wallit as an application layer on top of your existing bank account. We also don't offer a debit card. We're actually driving deposits and interchange to our bank partners. The reality is that makes it easier not only for consumers, but for banks to take this offer forward in their communities.
And so it sounds like you guys are, doing pretty specific, personalized and automated, cashback offers and things of that nature. Can you speak a little bit more about that, and how does it revolve around a specific consumer? How does a customer interact with it?
Well, it's a massive data play, really. It gives an opportunity for a bank to really leverage multiple data points. All of the offers can be transaction-based because we link to the account. We can see where they're spending, where they buy their groceries, coffee, gas, you name it, right? That's also location-based. We build a geofence in the community, and all of those offers are served up from those merchants and specifically sponsored by that bank partner.
Sure.
And then it's also time-based too. So a merchant could say, I really don't want to offer cash back on Saturday. We're really busy on Friday and Saturdays. How about if I did it on Tuesday afternoons? But not just everyone on Tuesday afternoons. How about if I said only for this specific gender or this specific age? We can actually serve up highly personalized targeted offers that are location-based, transaction-based, and behavioral-based.
Great. And with all that data play that you alluded to, all of those data moving parts in terms of the variables, whether it's time, cash, how do you guys measure the campaign's effectiveness, and then how do you relay that back to the stakeholders?
Well, we manage everything, and we also share a lot of this data with our bank partners. Everything from the number of goals that have been created, completed goals, number of linked accounts, linked cards, number of offers delivered and redeemed, all of that information. So the nice thing about what we do and what we care about most is the number of card linked offers redeemed.
Sure.
And we're rewarding people for smart saving and spending. And the idea here really is to help take a lot of the burden out of the day-to-day manually intensive, time-consuming capabilities that consumers are doing today that they just really don't have the time or knowledge to do. We automate that, and then we reward them for their loyalty when they shop local at these businesses.
Understood.
Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike, just to kind of wrap up, what is typically the implementation, or walk me through the implementation process that you guys do? And then if you could share a quick success story on what you guys have seen that works well for you guys, and then, how you've been able to bring some value to some of the community banks that you've worked with.
Absolutely. So the implementation in a co-branded model is very streamlined. We have a 1-year contract that's a monthly subscription that makes it easy for us to white label the Wallit so that it's powered by Wallit, but brought to you and sponsored by that community bank in that marketplace. And then we work very closely with a community bank to help onboard those merchants one at a time and then build those offers. We create hyperlocal campaigns where we're actually marketing not only the merchant and the bank, but those offers on behalf of our partners. We do that on social media. We do that with our existing customer base and a number of basically these ad agencies that we partner with to drive offers and more adoption. And then, so we're working with mostly community banks on the East Coast. We're really trying to focus on a concentrated area to build height and heat of these offers. We believe that that's probably the most effective way to build a marketplace. And as we continue to focus on these opportunities, then we're looking to increase our existing client list with banks that are in other markets that want to take advantage of this opportunity, which is extremely timely, as we talked about with COVID-19, the ability to reboot and recover from the pandemic. There's never been a better time to drive digital payments, to drive digital loyalty using an existing bank and debit card.
Great. Okay, Mike, well, if you want to offer any concluding words, be happy to do so. Otherwise, thank you for your presentation.
No, I just, once again, thank you to the Venture Center and the ICBA. It's been wonderful to be part of this program, and we look forward to talking to any community banks that are interested in our solution. You can reach me at mike@wallit, that's WALLIT.app. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike. We really appreciate it. Great. Well, up next, we've got another very innovative company here. We've got AK Patel and Jem George presenting on the behalf of Lendsmart. AK, Jem?
I am here. 1 second.
How's everyone doing?
There you go. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Lovely. So good afternoon all. I'm AK, the founder and CEO of Lendsmart, and I'm here with Jem. He's our co-founder and COO, and he'll be driving the demo. And we stand for smarter lending. We can all agree the home buying journey and the lending process, it's painful. So here at Lendsmart, we've built an AI-driven digital lending platform coupled with a home buying marketplace. Now, what that means for our community banks is we save you money, we save you time, and we increase your profits. So I've actually gone through the home buying journey over 23 times. And during those multiple journeys, we've noticed two separate issues. The mortgage process, which is slow, manual, repetitive, lacks communication, and the home buying journey, it's a black hole, time consuming, stressful. Did you guys know 68% of first-time home buyers are millennials who give up during the process? So here's a current journey. It has a minimum of 16 steps, and each step can take days, weeks, and even months to move on to the next. And it's an average 60-day process. Now here's a Lendsmart journey, 8 simple steps, and most happen instantly. We've taken a lengthy mortgage application process and cut it down into 10 minutes, giving the borrower the power to close in less than 2 weeks. So you guys must be thinking, what's the solution? Simple. Provide the home buyer with that one digital journey. We take the home buyer through the mortgage application process and provide them a marketplace for all their home buying needs through one digital experience. You guys must be thinking, how do we make this happen? We've created an ecosystem of real-time service providers, from instant verification of assets, income, employment, and identity. And by unifying all the experts and advisors to the Lendsmart platform, we can speed up the process to close. And here's some of our API partners. So our digital lending solution, it's for mortgages, refinance, home equity lines of credit, and recently added small business lending. Now here's the team. We have myself, Jem, and Kishore. The team have over 56 years of industry experience, and we are actually made up of technologists, real estate agents, real estate investors, and loan officers. So this solution has been built by the industry. Over to our demo. Jem's going to drive that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Jem, over to you.
Thanks, AK. So your consumer's journey starts from your institution's website. And when they're clicking to apply for a loan, they'll be moved to a tile-based application where they select what kind of financing they want. You can also add some marketing materials here to help entice them to proceed with the loan. So we're going to show you how purchasing a new home through the mortgage process becomes very easy. So once they click on that tile, they'll provide an address or a town, city that they may be interested in purchasing a home in. And the reason why we ask this is because we've partnered with a bunch of MLSs to gather the data points that are on a property. Property taxes, HOA fees, the size of the home, etc. Then they move on to a conversational style platform where they start answering questions that are on the 1003 application. And as they're answering, they're going to start building a team. And a team is going to be experts and advisors that will help them throughout the process. And the first one is going to be their loan officer. So it'll be the institution's loan officers that would end up on this page, and they would select one. And here on the right-hand side, you can see that team member being added. They have the option to enter a co-borrower, and they continue to ask all the questions that are on the 1003 application. And here's our unique value proposition. We offer several different ways to provide the data, the information, and the documents that are needed. So a simple explanation, I'm only going to be able to demonstrate 2 of them here for time's sake. But the first one is Let Us Do It For You, which gives an iframe experience to log into the financial institutions that the documents that are needed for the 1003 application. You can send pictures securely through your mobile phone. It opens up the browsers to take pictures of the documents that are required for the application from their computer and from any cloud storage provider that they store documents on. So here we're going to demonstrate Let Us Do It For You. Here, since this is the most viable option for your consumer and for the institution, and the reason is by selecting this option, you get to verify income, assets, and employment instantly. So what it'll do is start opening up a iframe experience where they'll log into their financial institutions. And this is a demo account, so we're going to put a demo bank in. It'll bring up that institution. They will log in. And then it'll pull up their accounts that you would need for the loan. Once they save and continue those account numbers, they save it to the platform. And then on the left-hand side, you'll start seeing that it's turning to green. So we've already received all the statements that we needed. The next one I'm going to demonstrate is my computer. With my computer, they could simply grab all their documents at once. We don't care what it's named or in what order they're in. We will take all the documents, upload it all at once, and our AI will determine which bucket they belong in and if it's the right document or not. And you'll start slowly seeing this turn from gray to yellow to green. To ensure that they've sent all the documents, they'll get an additional opportunity to either upload from their cloud storage, from their computer again, or to their mobile. But since I've already uploaded everything, I'll hit I have sent all documents. Now we also start doing some KYC here. And we do that by gathering the data off the documents and asking them an extra couple questions to verify identity. And they'll continue to answer questions that are on the 1003 application. And for time's sake, we're going to skip the ethnicity questions, and we'll move right into a lot of the declaration questions that are on the 1003 application. And as they're answering these questions, our AI is not only pulling data off of the documents that have been submitted to fill in the application, but the answers that are being provided within the platform are being injected into the application itself as well. Here's where we would integrate with your credit check agency to provide a credit report. And this does it in the background. It's going to pull the credit report and store it as a document for the LO. After they've done that, it's time to put a team together of those advisors and experts. And we ask for what language they prefer to speak in and a zip code to search for those advisors and experts. Now, there's a couple different ways to provide that information for the borrower. They can connect their personal, social, and professional networks to identify any possible advisors or experts that already exist within them. Or they can select the institution's recommended advisors or experts. They also have the option, if they're already working with certain experts or advisors, to either add them to the team or select from the group that's here or skip. Here we're selecting the realtor. Here are the recommended real estate attorneys. And you can see which ones are recommended by the actual institution by the header on the top right-hand side of each tile. Home inspector. And then we've also partnered with Lemonade to provide instant home insurance quotes. especially when it's required to have a declaration page for the loan application. We've also partnered with move.com to provide instant moving quotes. We have a lot of data. We know where they are moving from and where they're potentially moving to. After they put their team together, they'll continue to answer some questions. Most borrowers don't have a title agency, and they'll take the recommendation of the loan officer. And they'll continue to answer those questions that are on the 1003 application. If you noticed, this is the second time I've only typed. And we only asked them to type about 6 times in total for the whole platform. And now it knows from the ID that I live there. How long have I lived at the address for? How long have I worked for an employer? And how long in the industry? Standard questions on the 1003 application. Here we capture a digital signature for any of the documents that need to be signed, specifically the loan application, disclosures. We've given the ability to select style, draw your own signature, and then you submit it. After it's captured that signature, we'll have them review the information that's been gathered from the documents and what they've provided on the platform. They ensure that everything is correct. And here you'll notice we've already calculated their salary based off of the W-2 and pay stubs that they've provided for us. We've also gathered all their assets and liabilities based on their bank statements and the credit report. They click all correct and proceed to submit their application to the loan officer. Once it's submitted, the borrower will be able to go to their personalized dashboard. And this dashboard allows them to understand where they are along in the process. So they know they've submitted their application, documents have been collected, and now it's being submitted to underwriting. They also can change the address of their home. They understand what top 4 or even 8 loan products they actually qualify for. They get to play around with the numbers to understand how much of a mortgage payment or the structure will be for their payment based on down payment or the type of loan it is. And they could change the price of the house, how much of a down payment, interest rate will be captured from the pricing engine from the institution. We've calculated debt to income ratio, giving them a really good understanding of closing costs and what's involved with it. Here you can see there's 2 tasks that need to be completed by the borrower. They have still access to all the files or documents that they uploaded. Here are some examples of disclosures that would be completed ahead of time instead of day 30 or day 40 down the road. Once they've signed it, they would have completed all their tasks. And if they had questions for any one of the advisors, they can simply ask them right here. So if it was a question of, hi Glenn. Sends that message to the loan officer. Now what I'm going to show you is the loan officer view next. So the loan officer will log into their dashboard, and the first thing they'll see is all the applications that have been submitted to him or that he's working on. A couple things that you can notice here is the loan officer can invite future applicants by simply providing their name and their email address, and it will send them straight to the platform. Each of the application is tile-based, so they give basic information up front. It tells you if we've been able to verify their identity. and if it's passed or failed. Right now it's awaiting since it's a demo site. But if it failed, you could also request the report of why it might have failed. Maybe it could be outdated information, they typed in something wrong, or they uploaded the wrong document. Here you can change the status from submitted to underwriting to funding. If you're too busy as a loan officer and you have too many loans that you're working on, you can actually reassign it to a fellow loan officer. Then you click on application details to see the application in high level. Here are all the documents that have been submitted and have been signed off on. So here's the application, the actual 1003 application that's been filled out. You can see the information was gathered from the documents and the platform and then put into the 1003 for completion. Here are a couple other resources that the LO has at their fingertips. Say, for instance, that the user has some problems navigating the platform. We have a function called impersonate, which gives the loan officer remote services to the borrower's part of the platform where they might have trouble in. So they'll exactly join where they are in the journey. They also can have chat. So you can see that John has asked for a pre-approval letter, but before we send it to him, the loan officer is going to want to make sure they have all the documents so they have the ability to review everything. Or if he needs or she needs additional documents or tasks done prior to the pre-approval. So an example is we can add a task after the loan officer reviewed, needed a letter of explanation for a transaction on one of the bank statements. It was a deposit and it was more than 1% of the total amount. Once they assign that task, you'll see it back in the borrower's dashboard. So on the dashboard, they'll be notified that there's an additional task to be done indicated by a little bubble here with a 1. They'll simply go to that task, fill out the explanation, once they do that, they sign and approve it, and it becomes part of the loan package. So we've also been able to use roughly 10 conditions that are required on all loan application. An example would be if there was a large deposit and it was indicated through our AI on that bank statement. In this scenario, there wasn't, but if it was, we would have auto-generated that letter of explanation for the client to fill out. And once that loan officer has reviewed everything, you can see all the teammates that have been here on the left-hand side, and that applicant is asking for a pre-approval letter. It's already been generated. Pop it into the message field and send it to the applicant. Back on the application page of that borrower, the loan officer has the ability to add any back-end officers as well. So if they need loan processors, underwriters, that team can be inserted here. They would have full access to this loan. And all in all, it gives a high level of communication between all the parties, and it helps alleviate chasing down documents, helping improve communication, and bringing all the parties together on one platform to complete the home buying journey. Thank you. Back to you, AK.
Jim. Sorry, 1 second. you want to stop sharing? Guys, as you can see, we truly provide a customer experience that is focused on the end-to-end journey for both the home buyer and the lender. Lendsmart provides both parties with a flawless solution that the industry has been demanding. We'd like to thank you all for taking the time to sit through these demos. Please use your voting buttons, and together, guys, let's make lending great again. Over to you, Hamza.
Thank you, AK. Thanks, George. Appreciate that. Or excuse me, thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. Just got a few questions for you guys, if you don't mind. So, AK, Jim, how long is the implementation timeline? And when you guys do an implementation, how do you guys interact with the core?
Yeah, good question. So it depends. We're actually already integrated into 3 of the 5 core providers. So Ellie Mae's Encompass, Finastra's Mortgage Bot, Freddie Mac's LOS. So those are relatively quick, within a month. It's just a field mapping we do. And then for those who are using FIS and Fiserv, they would just need to introduce us to their rep as their preferred point of sale solution, and then we can get going for from there. And that probably takes about 2 months.
Understood. And I think you guys might have mentioned this a little bit, but how do you guys, what's your pricing model?
It's very simple. It's a transaction-based pricing model, $50 per loan.
Very good. Very good. And just from your perspective and what you guys have seen so far, when a borrower starts their application process, how long do they typically spend on it on your platform?
Two, if a borrower's got their documents savvy, 10 minutes. And that's not just completing an application form. That's answering all of the underwriting questions we predicted during the application. So as Jem mentioned, we have 10 which are industry standard, which are already injected into the platform. So one is a large cash deposit in your bank account. You have to explain where that money came from. If you've moved in the last 2 years, you have to explain why. If you've moved jobs, once again, you have to explain why. And those are kind of industry standard. We're actually integrated into Freddie Mac, which means we get 200 conditions up front. So we can pretty much safely say we'll call it a soft underwrite. We can soft underwrite this borrower within those 10, 15 minutes of the application.
Understood. And speaking of the underwriting, you mentioned a little bit of having an artificial intelligence kind of underwriting process. Can you speak a little bit about how that technology works and what you guys are able to do with it?
Yeah, and it's simple. It's condition based. So the 10 industry conditions, along with the 20 we get from Freddie Mac, and what we actually do, it's proprietary technology, and it's patent pending. Is we can take the data off those documents within seconds, and then we pin that data up next to the condition to see if it's a match. And then if it is, we'll present a LOE, a letter of explanation, for the borrower to write out.
Understood. And so in doing all of this, AK, what is Lendsmart replacing or adding on to?
Yeah, we're so for those existing core providers we're integrated into, seeing though we're part of their marketplace, we would replace their POS, their point of sale solution for lending. So what that means for a bank, if that apply now, will then redirect into a Lendsmart product.
Understood.
And because we've got those relationships with those core providers, it's not a big ask.
Sure. Okay. Well, AK, Jim, I don't know if you guys have any other concluding statements to make, but certainly thank you for your time and demo today. We certainly appreciate your presentation.
Lovely.
If you guys just want to say any closing remarks, then we can move on to the next group.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. Up next, we've got another digital innovator. We've got Bhushan Rangachari from Finzly. Bhushan? Hey, Bhushan, I think you're still on mute. There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you, Bhushan.
Perfect. I'm Bhushan Rangachari, founder and CEO of Finzly. So we have been helping banks since 2012 in treasury and cash management areas. So today I'm going to present a banking platform that helps you to innovate at speed. So there is a pressing need today to digitize everything. That too, with this pandemic, it has become more important that we become more digital. So the days when customers used to come to the branches, do their banking, they are gone now. I don't think those days will ever come back again. All banking services needs to be available where the customers are and in any devices they use. So that's the future of the banking. So the future of the banking is embedded. It's embedded in people's life and in the devices. The future of the banking is connected. So your customers, businesses and consumers, they are connected with your bank in real time. So that's the future. Future of the banking is smarter. It is artificially intelligence enabled, and it needs to be suggesting solutions, recommending products, and helping them make decisions that is right and good for them. That's how the future of the banking is. But we always have challenges with any innovations. One of the biggest challenges that we deal with is a legacy technology. So the platforms, the technologies that we use is 30, 40 year old. And anything we do, it is too hard. And those technologies are not built for this modern era. And even if you want to continue using those technologies, it becomes too expensive to make to adopt any new products or services. And even if you are ready to spend, it is too time consuming. We have to wait in the queue, and it's a year-long project. It takes anywhere from 1 to 2 years. So it's just too hard to innovate and to meet the customer expectations and continue to innovate at the speed that we want to. How about innovating with your freedom? What do we need to innovate and meet our customer expectations? The customers are looking for, and the banks needs to provide a better engaging digital experience, right? Whether it is account opening or online experience or the mobile experience. So that is one of the most important product offering that we have to offer. Next is smarter payments. So the payments are embedded and it has to be real time. The paychecks has to be real time. The insurance payments needs to be real time. And any payment between the sender and receiver should happen instantaneously. So, but today, we are dealing with delays and issues and reconciliations. That's not how the payment should be. So the future of the payments are all connected and they are all real time. Specialty banking. So today we are giving banking solutions and services, no matter who the customer is, but every customer's banking needs are different. How about giving them specialized banking solutions that exactly helps them do their banking better? And third-party apps. You have been seeing a lot of innovative apps from other vendors. You like some solution, but you always think about how much it is going to cost, how much it is going to take time to integrate with my core, and all that becomes always a problem. How about a solution that lets you to innovate, that lets you to fly with freedom? And that's the Finzly Bank OS. The Finzly Bank OS platform, that's a bank operating system that includes all of these capabilities and gives you a modern banking platform. You can ask, hey, how about my core? Now you are already running a legacy platform which takes care of a lot of legacy products like item processing, debit card, credit card. We cannot do away with that. So Finzly Bank OS is not a core replacement. It is a core enhancement solution. We help you to offer modern experience without having to replace that core. So you have a core and you have Finzly Bank OS, how they are all connected. our Light Core plugin that connects your bank OS with your legacy platform, it makes it a complete solution and makes your bank a very modern bank. By means, the Light Core plugin, the term Light means it is just, it's a very simple integration, which usually takes about 2 to 4 months if you are not integrated, but we are integrated with most of the, core platforms. So with this solution, now you have a complete platform. You have a legacy technology that takes care of everything because you don't have to rip and replace core. That's always risky. And you are going to have a modern platform with Finzly Bank OS. With Finzly platform, you can simply subscribe any of the solution. I demonstrated 4 types of solutions. If you like a system, you can just simply subscribe it and try it out and launch them. This is very similar to your smartphone, an iPhone or Android experience, where you like an app, you simply just touch and install it, and you like it, you start using it. Why don't we bring that kind of experience to the bank? That's exactly Finzly has done for the banks. So I want to quickly jump to the demo and then come back to this presentation and finalize, close my presentation. So in our demo, I'm going to be presenting 3 solutions. One is digital account opening. So digital account opening is for consumers and also the businesses, and a treasury and cash management platform. So our digital account opening platform is a customizable form. You can change anything that you want that makes right for you. And it is AI powered, and it has electronic signature. It allows you to configure the workflow. It's a very simple experience. And then we move on to the treasury and cash management. And there are other platforms like payments and other stuff. I'll be happy to give, but we have limited time. And if anybody is interested, we will have a separate time to schedule that. So I'm going to take you. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see Bhushan.
Perfect. So this is our consumer account opening system. As you can see, there are different steps that we do as we collect this information. You can do a single account opening or joint account opening. When you say joint account opening, you can see that there are additional information that you have to ask for secondary, the second users, right? I'm going to go with a single account, and you can select whichever product that you want to open. And here we do that real-time identity verification. We collect the information of that individual. When you do this from your mobile, you can use your camera, you can use your mobile phone camera, the front and back, to take these images. You don't have to upload, but in the desktop, you can upload that one, or you can also use the camera. So for the identity verification, most of the time they upload that one and we cannot verify, hey, is this the right person? So here, we also do verification of that ID with a selfie. So when you do start camera, okay, I'm having 2 screens. I'm going to jump here. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to take a picture of this one. As I take my picture, the system is going to compare the ID in the driving license with my picture. Obviously, these are not same pictures, right? So the next step it is going to do is it is going to ask Wallit questions, and it's going to ask, it will pre-populate the information as much as it can based on that information that I gave in the driving license. And then I have to just provide the information that I don't have. If I have to. Next, it is going to ask me some Wallit questions, which, because it was not able to identify me properly. Now I have to answer where I lived and some of the personal information. And then next, it asks me about citizenship. And there are also fields which are conditional. For example, when I say employed, it is going to ask me employer information. And so now we have identified that information, validated the customer. We can also immediately go and ask the customer to fund the account. By doing this one, we ask the customer to directly connect to their bank. So let's say they have an account with Bank of America. And now the system is connected to Bank of America. We will retrieve all that accounts that is available there and select that account and then say how much I want to fund. And finally, we need to finish the job. If you look at the Apple credit card, right? Apple card, you can apply that card within 90 seconds and you can use it right away. We want to bring that similar experience. If we can validate that user, if we can certify that user information, everything is good, we want that user to immediately create an account and start using it right away. And I have to do a signature and finally submit. By doing this one, you have created a new account in less than 2 minutes. So that's how fast you can automate. Now we have been working with several community banks and we are replacing their multiple manual steps like qualify and ID verifications, ACH funding. All of these things are fully automated. And these banks we have eliminated, like close to 12 different steps, and it takes about a week to 2 weeks to open an account, and we are transforming that to an instantaneous account opening. Okay, this for the consumer account opening. Likewise, for the businesses, it's a slightly different workflow. We start with the email. And we immediately verify whether that phone number or email is valid by sending a one-time PIN and asking that user to enter that PIN. And then we ask for the business details like legal name, tax ID, and all the legal structure informations of that one, plus the business address, and also asking about the complaints information, the things that are more important when we open a new account. Now, is there a parent company with 50% ownership? Is there any business outside of the US? Is it involved in money services, gambling? And then we also ask, it's a nonprofit. If we say yes, we will ask few more questions about that nonprofit. Is it a charity? Is it a non-government organization? And then it's a domestic or international, like that, right? And again, we will verify the identity of who that user is. I'm going to skip that one for the timing because we have disabled all these validations. And then we start collecting the owner's information. How many owners are present in this company, right? I collect that information and what percentage of ownership they have, what is the title. And if there are other owners, I say other owners, and I will start collecting other owner information. Okay, and I keep on adding more owners as I have. And then finally, I select which product I want to enroll and then what it is for. And I can also select funding now or I want to fund later. If I say fund now, I will go through the same process of connecting to my external account. And how much you want to fund. And then who's the signing authority. And then if there are other signing authorities, and then create an account. And then finally, disclosures and tax certifications. And this text, you can add whatever you want. And this is totally customizable. And the user will upload articles of incorporation, any operating agreement, and then finally sign it and submit it. It's that simple. You can collect all that information. So behind that scene, what's happening is it's all controlled and managed by a workflow that can be customized to suit whatever your bank is looking for. So these are the two account opening solutions, digital account opening solutions, one for consumers, another one is for businesses. And you can use that for any forms that you want to collect from the users. Next, let's switch to digital banking platform. As I said, the digital banking platform is primarily focused on treasury and cash management and for the business customers. So one of the important feature many businesses are looking for is the ability to manage the subsidiaries. If you take a restaurant, they may have many branches, and they may be having multiple accounts for each branches. And you may take a property management company. They may have multiple properties managed by the same company. So likewise, you may have a global company with multiple branches, multiple subsidiaries. And, the customers, they want to have one login and they want to be able to manage all subsidiaries. So you can switch from your parent to your subsidiaries just by clicking here from one account to another account. And another important feature when it comes to business banking is the user administration. So we have multiple users with different permissions that we want to manage. I can define any number of roles that I have in my company, and I can add a new role. And here, I can give what permissions I want to give. And I want to give account permissions, or I want to give payment permissions. If I want to give payments, yes, I want to give this user the permission to submit payments. What is my payment limit? What is the daily limit? What is the monthly limit? And then if I want to give permission to approve them, if yes, what is the per payment limit? What is the daily limit, right? Likewise, payment for bulk payments. Can I upload the file? What is the limit per file, batch limit, daily limit, monthly limit? And also group payments. Can I pay to a group? For example, if I want to pay tips to my employees, how can I do that? So that's the group payments. And user administration. Do I want to give permission to manage the users? So like that, you can create multiple roles and you can manage the users in the user management screen. So once you have all that one set up, the payment experience is very simple. Now you'll see all the payments and you will see payments that are pending or approval. All you have to do is you can review them, you can approve it. Or if you want to review all of them, you can see all of the payments in one place and you can just simply approve them, right? And initiating a new payment is also is a very simple experience. If I want to start a new payment, whom you want to pay and how much you want to pay, and then you want to pay now or later, and then faster, express or economy, right? It's a very simple experience. We are not dealing with experiences like, you want to say ACH or Fedwire. It all talks about speed and fees. The customers, they don't care about whether bank wants to send it through ACH or through Fedwire or RTP or SWIFT, right? Customer cares about speed and they care about fees. So we say that, hey, at what speed do you want? If you pick this speed, this is the fee. And they select that one and we are done. So that is the payment experience. Likewise, your business customers can upload payment files and they can approve them. And another cool feature is the group payments. Now, let's say you are a restaurant with multiple locations with different shift, and you want to pay them tips on the same day. You can create a new group and select, which users you want to have in that group. And when you are ready to pay, all you have to do is just select that one. Okay, for this guy, how much you want to pay? And then from where, and then finally you can make a payment. So this is mostly the payment experience. And one more thing I want to add here is that third-party applications. We just saw a demo from Lendsmart, and it's going to take another 2-3 months to integrate with the core if we do one by one for each and every application. How about all these applications are available in one place, which is pre-integrated? So just by doing that one, you can have access to any third-party solution, not just Lendsmart. Any applications, you can simply connect to that one and have that one pre-integrated to your core. If you like any product, all you have to do is simply just subscribe to that one. Next day you have any of this platform available to you. So with that one, I want to come back to my demo, to my presentation. So with Finzly, you have an omni-channel digital banking platform that runs in desktop, laptops, tablets, and mobile. So it's a one single system that covers all customer base, and all you have to do is just select the applications they should have access to and assign it to them, and they will have access to those. And the customers can also pick what they want to use. Next is the most important thing. I don't have time to demo this one. It's a payment hub. Instead of relying on core to take care of your payment needs, you can totally bypass that one and use Finzly Payment Hub to take care of ACH payments, Fedwire payments, SWIFT international payments, and RTP payments, which means that it is a one single system that is pre-connected, pre-integrated with Fedwire, Federal Reserve for ACH and Fed, and also with SWIFT network for international payments. And we can also do RTP payments. So we go to core only for balance check and putting a hold on their customer account. Everything else, messaging, sending files, everything is done outside of the core in the payment hub. What it does is it consolidates all your payment capabilities in one system, and it gives you open banking API to be ready for you for the future. And basically, this is a modern payment capabilities that's needed for the today's world. And then specialty and treasury banking. We talked about fintech banking, which is APIs. The Finzly Bank OS comes with APIs that can be used by fintechs. And we are extremely good in foreign exchange. That's one of our initial product that we have been licensing since the last 8 years. And then invoicing and electronic bill payments. And there are a lot more special solutions that are available. And finally, just I said, we talked about third-party applications. If you like any third-party applications, we have few solutions that are pre-integrated. Anything else, we'll work with them, have that integrated, which means that it is available to you in just a few clicks away. You just have to simply subscribe to any of the system and then try it out and then launch. So instead of waiting for 2 months or 2 years, everything is happening instantaneously within a day. To summarize, with Finzly, you can innovate at speed, and you can provide a very modern experience. And finally, you can focus on banking. You don't have to deal with the technology challenges. One of the bankers I spoke with, they said, I want to do banking, but I have to deal with all nuances with technologies. I'm not a tech guy. So let Finzly handle your technology issues, and we'll let you focus on banking. If you have any interest in any of these products, you can reach out to us at hello@finzly.com, and we'll be happy to give more demonstrations and more, more deep dive into that one. So innovation, close my presentation, innovation is not just a strategy. It's a fight for survival. With Finzly, you just will not survive, but you will also be able to compete with fintechs and banks of any size. And thank you, and we'll be happy to take any questions.
Thanks, Bhushan. That was a great presentation and very cool stuff that you guys are working on. I just have a few questions for myself and the audience. Bhushan, let me ask you this. What cores have you guys integrated with, and typically how long does it take you guys to go through the implementation integration process?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm sorry. So we are now presently integrated with two of the major cores, FIS and FISERVs, and then you know, any integration, it takes about 2 to 4 months, and that's pretty much it.
Very good, very good. And I want to ask you a couple of questions. You know, if we're limited on, if I'm a bank and I'm limited on technology staff, and you just kind of spoke to this, how can we digitize and innovate without having to worry about all the technology challenges?
I mean, that's a great question. I think that's the problem that we are trying to solve. We want to allow the bankers focus on banking, not worry about, hey, I like this solution, and you know what it is going to take. You know, Finzly BankOS is a custom. You know, we will say we are a customer core, or the modern core that is facing the customers, and also helping the bankers to do their banking in a more efficient and smarter way. So with that platform, you know, you can have more capabilities. You know, you can just focus. You just basically allows you the freedom to innovate. You know, if you look at our logo, it's a feather logo. It's a simple. It's lightweight. We want the bankers to fly. So that's why we chose that logo. So, and that's what we are living for.
Very good. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. Now, similar. Maybe I have the technology staff, but you know, technology is expensive, right, Bhushan? So when we're talking about integrating all of these different APIs and other technologies and third-party apps, if I already have existing apps, how do those work? How does the integration process work along with them?
Yeah, so you know, I think that's a great question. If you look at, you know, if you look at what kind of apps that you have, if you want to connect to the core directly, right now, that means, you know, you are dealing with 4 or 5 different integrations. So anytime you have to upgrade one core, then you have to go and upgrade almost everything else, right? That's
right.
Always the challenge. So with our BankOS, there is only one connection between BankOS and core. And then any system, any applications that is running and sitting within that platform doesn't have to deal with all that integrations again.
Sure.
So that's basically, you know, allows you to make any changes anywhere without impacting anything else.
No, that's great, and I'm sure that helps with the technical and the budget deficits. Speaking of limited budgets, the system looks great, Bhushan, but how much does it cost? How do you go about pricing and things?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you know, the prices at the end, you know, the price needs to be affordable, right? We want to make it easy for banks of any size. You know, if you look at 10 years ago, it's all, you know, all the new technologies and everything is available and only for big banks. Like, you know, they had huge budgets. They were able to fund innovation. They were able to acquire those things. You know, with our partnership with ICBA, you know, we have been working closely with most of the ICBA executive team. And what we want to do is we want to bring those innovations. We want to make it easy for banks to adopt them and help them compete with banks of any size, right? And our contract terms are very flexible. It's just like, you know, 2-3 years and month-to-month payments. And you know, we are making it easy for banks to adopt, you know, kind of whatever is the convenient way. We work with them and make it easy and make it right for them.
Very good, very good. So it's a fairly flexible approach.
Yeah.
Then. Very good, very good. And Bush, I just had one quick last question, and you spoke to this nearing the end of your presentation a little bit, but can you explain to me the quick difference between the consumer account opening and then the commercial account opening?
Yeah, so the consumer accounts are mainly individuals, right? So for the individuals, what we need to do is we need to verify the identity of the individual. You know, whether who he says he's right? We need to verify the driving license, maybe the passport. And you know, once we verify that identity and we can ensure that this person lives within the area that I'm operating, and we ensure that, you know, he says who he is, we are good. And you know, we also want to avoid fraud. You know, there are a lot of things that happens in online account opening fraud also. So most of our solution, what we have built is to eliminate those fraud. Now, by asking the customer to elect the funding, we are ensuring that, you know, we know that that customer has an account and we can transfer money from there, right? And also by doing the selfie verification, we are just making sure that ID is also valid. And we have integration with Qualifile to check whether this customer has opened any other deposit accounts in other places. So all these things goes into that into those decision making. When it comes to the commercial account opening, it's all about the company, right? Yes, we verify some of the owner information should be OFAC'd and all that stuff. But for the businesses, we need to identify whether that entity is formed right, where it is formed, and what is the business activity, whether they are doing activities that is not allowed by the regulators, like money services or other stuff. So the kind of information that you collect for those accounts are totally different. Just so like I just tried while we building this application, we tried opening accounts with several big banks.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes about a week to 2 weeks for any accounts to be opened.
Sure.
Only few banks they were able to open very immediately. Our goal is to at least meet the expectations that is set by Apple. If you're applying for a card, it is ready within 90 seconds. And
right.
You can use it right away. They're finishing the job. We wanted to do that similar thing for the banks with account opening.
Very good. Well, thank you, Bhushan. That was great, and thank you for that explanation. Certainly want to give you an opportunity to conclude and say your thank yous, but wanted to say thank you for your presentation and your time today.
Great. Thank you, Hamza. Thank you, Charles. I want to thank ICBA Venture Center for making this happen. And it has been a great team, and it has been a great partnership. When it comes to the innovation, we know that community banks do not have the kind of advantage that big banks and fintechs they do. And the partnership that we are having with ICBA is going to change that one. We want to make it easy to innovate, irrespective of who it is. We are basically democratizing the innovation. We are helping the banks, irrespective of what size it is. We want you to be successful. And if there is anything that we can help, please reach out to us. Or we are also working with ICBA. You can reach out to them. Happy to connect in any way we can.
Sure. Thank you, Bhushan.
Awesome.
Much appreciated. Charles?
Thank you, Bhushan. Yes, thank you, everybody. Well, that concludes this Innovation Hour webinar series that we put on for our ICBA members. I want to thank everybody for participating, for attending. This has been a fun session. We focused on marketing and cybersecurity and fraud and data analytics, and today around the area of digital innovations. To Mike at Wallit, AK and Jim at Lendsmart, Bhushan at Finzly, thank you very much for supporting it. To all of our ICBA members and everybody listening who wants to know more about our ICBA ThinkTECH Accelerator program, you can go to venturecenter.co/bank and learn more about our upcoming program. We'll be starting our third program, our third version, starting in January. We have already kicked off the program internally, and we're looking for lots of participation and lots of ideas. And what we've seen here in the last 4 weeks with this group of alumni is nothing short of amazing. And it's a powerful testament to all the involvement and all the activities of both the Venture Center and obviously all of our ICBA member banks. Hamza, Becky, Daniel, Wayne, and company, thank you very much for putting this on. We really appreciate this and appreciate everybody's participation and look forward to a great program in 2021. So it's all yours, Hamza.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. AK, Bhushan, Jim, Mike, thank you guys. And thank you, Charles, for that nice conclusion.
All right. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Becky.
Hey, hang on just a sec. I piped Mimi over. You're muted, Mimi.